Hi guys, I'm Termeyy, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll show you how to make the beat for I Know by Travis Scott. This beat was made by Travis Scott, Oates and Coleman. So let's begin with the breakdown. This is one of the simplest beats of the album, but at the same time is one of the most iconic. So first thing, we got this piano. I used Labs with his bank, the tape piano. The preset is the capstan upright. I think this is the right one because it sounds so similar to the original one. The progression they're using is a 1-5-4 in the F minor scale. On the piano roll, I'm starting on the 5th chord of the scale because in the intro they are starting on the 5th chord of the scale. This is a really cool way to add some tension in the intro, because starting on the 5th chord instead of the tonic one is giving the production a more Phrygian mode feeling instead of the minor classic feeling. So the first chord is the F minor chord, they're playing the 3rd on top, and then we have the 5th, the root note, the suspended 2, the 3rd and the suspended 4. And on the lower notes, they're just arpeggiating the root note, the 5th and the 3rd. Then they're going up to the 5th. And then they're going back down using the suspended 4, the 3rd and the suspended 2. They're repeating this chord for 8 bars, and then they're moving to the 5th and the 4th chord of the scale. The 5th chord of the scale is the C minor chord. They're playing the 3rd on top as always, and then we have the 5th, the 3rd, the root note, and they're playing around the 3rd, 5th interval. But the most iconic interval is this one, between the 6th and the 5th note of the scale. The 6th note of the scale is a diminished 9th for this chord, so this note is creating a lot of tension when played on top of the other notes of the chord. Then for the last chord they are playing the A sharp minor chord, so the 4th chord of the scale, and they're playing the 3rd on top as always. And on the lower notes, they're always arpeggiating the same chord, using the 5th, the 3rd. Here we have a 7, and then we also have a suspended 2 and a suspended 4. I'm also using a bass, the Retro 60 from Omnisphere, and I'm playing the root note of the chords. Without the bass, it sounds like this. For the effects, I have a sketch cassette on the piano. In the background of the melody, we have this hi-hat pattern. As you can see, I use the velocity to give it a groove that is similar to the original one. For these hi-hats, I have this EQ and this beat crusher. Without it, it sounds like this. And then at the end, we have some vinyl texture. For the intro we have this stretched vocal. I'm gonna pitch it because it's the original one. And I'm also using the shaper box to give it this stuttering effect, like the one we have seen in Sirens. I'm using the shaper box with this square gate and I set it to Earth mode, so I'm just automating the speed. Then we have some other vocal chops, always stuttering. And then we have the drums, so the snare on the 3rd beat. Hi-hats, a really simple pattern. They're just adding this hit on the 1st beat of the 2nd and 4th bar. Then we have a rim shot on the 2nd beat of the 1st bar. Also playing on the 4th beat. Then we have a cowbell on the last off beat of the 1st bar. We also have one on the 1st off beat of the 2nd bar. And then we have this open hat on the 4th beat. Also played on the 3rd and the 4th bar. Then we have a rim shot on the off beat after the snare. And an open hat on the 2nd beat of the 2nd bar. On the 4th bar we also have a snare on the off beat after the snare. Then we have this woody perk on the 4th beat, and then we have this rim shot on the last off beat. Also played on the 1st of the next bar. For the kick we have a really interesting pattern, it's different from the classic urban trap pattern. So for the kick we have a hit on the 1st beat, one on the off beat before the snare, one on the snare, one on the 4th beat and one on the off beat after it. And then we have this double hit on the 3rd beat of the 2nd bar. So this is the final result for the drums. Then we have the bass. I use this sample. It's a saw bass with a lot of distortion, and they're just playing the root notes. So we have this pattern, playing on the 1 and the 2, then on the 4, the 2 again, and then on the offbeat after the snare. Playing on the 3rd, the suspended 2 and the root note. Then they're just moving to the 5th note of the scale. They're using the 3rd and the diminished 9th, and then they're playing the 4th note. So this is the final result. We also have this other hi-hat sample coming in. It's giving the beat a lot of energy because it has more high frequencies than the first one, and it's also adding some rhythm because it has a different pattern from the first one. Then we have the spins 808 coming in this bridge, just playing the root notes again. And then we have these strings just replaying the chords, as you can see, with a 5th inversion. And I'm using the classic mellotron violins. For the outro we have this pluck. I made it using Serum. It's just a bunch of square waves with a lot of distortion and delay. It doesn't sound exactly the same as the original one, but it's similar. So that's all for this video. Smash a like and subscribe if you liked it. I will leave all my link in the description if you want to support me. I have a Patreon page where I upload all the FLPs from my remakes, Instagram if you want to follow me, and Beatstars if you want to check out my beats or drum kits. Bye and see you in the next video.